Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kelvin, your host of Situations the Podcast.
And I'm your co-host, Miss Thiana. What's up, everybody?
Everybody out there feeling the day. Well, on this rainy day, I should say. Thiana, how you doing today?
Ready to take a nap? But I'm good.
It's definitely that weather, that's for sure. Okay.
Yes.
Today we have today we're going to be talking about um relationships, somewhat dealing with relationships.
Okay.
Um
hmm
Today's title is The Backup Plan. Is she really in love or is she just covered? Okay,
Ooh.
we're gonna be talking about. Well, I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give too much of it away. So you ready?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna start off like this. What does it mean when someone says a woman has a backup man? What do you think that means?
She got somebody on the side or somebody waiting in the wing.
Okay. And how likely is that?
It's very likely.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say it's all women, but haven't you heard the term of work husband?
Okay.
Right. Or somebody that's been friend zoned.
Right.
And somebody just the guy, he's like, well, if he ever mess up, like she may not be really entertaining it, but it's still people waiting in the wing just in case the man mess up. They want a chance.
Okay. All right. Well, that's exactly what that means. That's exactly
Okay.
what that means. And
hmm
this is what we're gonna be dealing with today. I
Okay.
I did a study. I did some research. I got some numbers. I got some percentages. And
Okay.
this study was a 2014 study, but
Okay.
we're in 2025 now. So I'm assuming the numbers that I'm going to give you
Ooh,
guys
child.
today from 2014 is going to be a lot higher than it is in 2025.
Absolutely.
Right. I can assure that. Okay. So,
Yeah.
um, do you think this behavior is more emotional or strategic?
Both. I'd say
Okay.
50-50.
Um,
I mean,
I c-
especially,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, especially if they're in relationships, some where the men, are kind of messing up or there's infidelity that has taken place.
Right.
Some women might be like, I ain't all in no more. I'm gonna keep or get so and so on the side or just have me a backup plan ready.
Right. Well, I do know. I think I kind of agree with you when you say 50-50. But I do know for many women, it's like an emotional
hmm
security, and the other percentages, like
Right.
you said, is a backup. So that equates to a 50-50 ordeal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me
Yeah.
ask you: do you think this concept of a backup partner is only exclusive to women?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Why? Elaborate a little more for me. Tell me why you say that.
I, I just think it could go both ways. And for women, it's always a woman on the side. If a male has female friends or, women just, well, are you hungry? Is it just always trying to see where she can fit in at?
Right. Right. Okay.
And I'm not saying every man, bites the bait or anything like that, or he's really entertaining it, but it just be people that want to come out of the friend zone, or people that always wanted a chance, or people that just want to be with someone knowing that they have someone on both sides.
Right. So um, so let me ask you this: what do you think the research may say
hmm
about the women having a plan B?
I would say it's more prominent today. I feel like the numbers may have risen more than it has before
Okay.
because I don't think people really value the sacred bond of a healthy relationship that's between two people without involving other people.
Right.
Like with the world we living in today, is if you and that other person not respecting your relationship, more than likely it's other people involved.
Okay. I can agree with that. Well, the reason I asked you that is because I did the study on it, and like I say, this what I'm about to read
Uh-huh.
to you and all our viewers. This is a survey that was done in
Okay.
2014, and like I said, I know we're in
Right.
2025, and the number that I'm going to give you now from
Right.
2014. Now that we're in 2025, I'm 100% certain this number is a lot higher than it was from 2014. Okay.
Absolutely. And I haven't even heard it yet.
Okay. A survey conducted by the market research company One Poll, which included 1,000 women, found that approximately 50% admitted to having a plan B, someone they can turn to in their current
Hmm.
relationship if it didn't work. These backup partners were often old friends, ex-boyfriends, or even colleagues. Notably, some women reported to their current partners we were um, they were aware of these individuals as they plan Bs. So
Hmm.
women were even telling their
Right.
partners about these additional men that they
Right.
had on the side.
Hmm.
Okay. But during this survey, it also revealed that 50%, 56% of individuals committed in committed relationship maintain communication with someone they considered a potential future romantic partner. This phenomenon often referred to as a back burner relationship. Um, what do you think about that? What do you think
I
about that
agree.
number? Out of 1,000 women, they was asked 500 of these women said they do have a backup plan.
I'm not surprised. That's why I'm like, when it comes to infidelity and talking about cheating and stuff like that, we can't just always put it on the men because that's not the case.
Right,
These women be having backup plans, and it's some great men out here, and it don't even matter how great they are. The women be having people on the side or doing other stuff. So that's why I'm like, I'd be unbiased when it comes to stuff like that because I've seen it firsthand. You know what I'm saying, from
right,
both sides. Or I've had female friends where I'd be like, don't do this or you shouldn't, and we arguing because I'm saying the man is a good man, and I'm telling them what they doing is wrong. So I just have to like back up because you know what I'm saying, that's not something I want to be a part of.
right. I can agree with that. But like I said, this study was done in 2014. What do you think the numbers
Right.
could possibly be at this point in time?
85%. 85%.
Right. Well, I said if it was 50 in 2014, I was in the 85% percentile myself because the
Yeah.
way society is set up today and
Yes.
the way this era is set up, it have to be in the 80s or the 85%. It has
Right.
to be.
Absolutely. And guess what? More women are bosses and making money, and they have the mentality that they don't need a man now. So they picking and choosing what they want to do. They a boss, they calling the shots or whatever. So um they don't feel like they have to be submissive or anything no more. So they just moving however they want to move. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So ain't
Right.
no commitment. Ain't no 100% commitment no more.
Right.
Because guess what? If the man leave or they was worried about bids before or not, being able to have this and have that or whatever, they not worried about that no more.
Absolutely. I agree with that. But let me ask you this. For those that do have this backup
Hmm.
partner, do you think that's an indication for
Right.
dissatisfaction in the relationship?
Yes, because I feel like something has to be off. Because if you're all in and you're happy, and I'm not saying ain't no relationship perfect because ain't no person perfect out there, but if you happy with your person, you're not really finna be trying to entertain nobody else. I'm sorry, not like that. I mean, for me, like I have guy friends and I'm cool, but I'm single, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm in a relationship and I'm with a person, like I be so gone and so into the person I'm with, my friends be like, damn, can you come outside so we can see you? You know what I'm saying? It just don't be like that.
Right.
I'm just saying for me, like I be so wrapped up in the person I'm in. That's why I be having to take breaks when it's over with. I got to regroup.
uh, well, there ain't nothing wrong
But
with
no,
that.
it's just yeah. I some you hear people say you can love two people. I don't know how. How?
Well, it's
It's
funny that
gonna
you
be
say that
different,
because
and this one gonna be love.
go ahead, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish your
Mhm.
statement. Finish your statement.
No, just saying it's how can you love two people? It's somebody's always gonna get more.
Okay. And it's funny that you say that because my next question was, can a woman
Mhm.
truly love her man and still have a backup? Is that possible? Do you think that's even possible?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The man it has to be some voice there.
Okay.
Because how can you say that and you not be convicted by this other person? It has to be some voice that the work husband or the backup plan or whoever is fulfilling.
Okay.
Like if the husband work all the time, but she's they're in a nice house, they got a nice life and this and whatever, but he might not have as much time that she want, but she spend time with the work husband or the other person or this and that, or they may not conversate as much as she like or whatever, but she get to talk to the other people. You see what I'm saying? It's some type of void that's there.
Right. Right. I agree with that. But I wonder, do you think, well, I'm talking about as of today's society. Do you think the men know
Hmm.
they the plan B?
I think a lot of them do.
Do you think, okay,
I think a
what,
lot of them do, and they don't care.
right. Well, that could
I've
be, that
heard
could be
I've heard
true.
some men say I'm fine with being. I've even heard some men say they was fine with being boyfriend number two because guess what? They still get the best parts of her, and they don't have all of the obligations.
Absolutely. I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that. Yeah, because now
Yeah,
they like you say, they get plus benefits, and they do a little here and do a little
right.
there, but that, like they say, everything is not totally on them because they the backup.
No,
Right. I agree.
right.
So let me ask you this. So with that being said, how does this affect the self-esteem in
Mhm.
the primary partner when he finds out?
What do you mean? This self esteem, the trust is broken.
Okay.
So, and normally for men, guess what? That's when they shut down.
Okay.
That's it.
Right.
Whatever openness he was giving you, whatever love he was giving you, whatever all that he was giving you, he finna pull back.
Right.
And now she gonna have to lean on that number two more than she was before. So
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's definitely going when the main guy find out, it's definitely gonna cause some trust issues and a lot of insecurities. A lot of second guessing the
exactly,
relationship. So
he's gonna pull back. He gonna shut down.
right. I
Right.
agree with that.
He's gonna pull back and he gonna shut down, or he gonna start entertaining somebody else. Now you got a whole damn open marriage or open relationship on both sides.
Right.
And that'd be the crazy thing to me. So I just be like, so why not just stay single and then everybody just date or be with whoever they want to be with and say, I got time for you, but I'm dating somebody else too. Why commit to, you know what I'm saying, do that to have these other people involved? Because that's what it leads to, a open situation.
But do you think it has something to do with the fact that the woman is afraid to be alone? That's the reason to back up. The number two is there. Because let's say for instance, the
But
number one,
how can
the main guy, that didn't work. Okay. So now she's in the
hmm
process of having a number two, just in case the number one don't work. Do you think that has something to do with her being afraid to be alone?
it could be a possibility for some, but my whole thing is, hell, for you ain't alone right now. You got somebody, so why he there?
Well, she got two somebodies.
You see what I'm saying? Like you
Right,
exactly,
right.
exactly. So you just doing some stuff. You just doing what you want to do.
So with that, so what's the
Because
difference
if you a
between being
nice looking
loyal?
woman,
Go ahead, finish your statement.
no, I'm just saying, if you're a nice looking woman, that's what I'm saying. I was in a relationship, I was out, but it was people that wanted to talk to me while I was in the relationship, and people was mad because I took time to hear after the relationship. You didn't did enough for that. You didn't had enough time here. How you gonna tell me how much time I had? You know what I'm saying? It
Right,
was men that
right,
still want to be with me no matter what. So
right,
it don't even I don't even have to have a backup. When I come outside or when I'm online, because I don't even come outside, they coming in the DM, they doing everything. Can I take you out? Can I fly you out? And there was no backup plan. You see what I'm saying? So it's always a man available.
right. So, do you think that men should be
I
worried if their partner is still talking to their ex?
I ain't gonna say worry, but he better not be aloof or thinking she may not be. I
Right,
mean, just pay attention to her. I mean, I don't know what signs or patterns that he may notice or see. Or maybe if they talked about it and she was just saying how they still remain friends afterwards and this and that. That's the number one indicator right there.
right,
I know people be saying, I don't think no new person that's with you or a current person that's with you is insecure because you saying you still friends with your ex. That means he still got access to you. Why shouldn't a person feel some type of way about that?
right,
If it's supposed to be y'all all and y'all, they commit to you.
right. Okay,
Because women don't like to hear that. So why would you do it?
right. Because women definitely, yeah, I can really agree with that. It would definitely be, it would definitely be an issue.
Baby, they be boiling pots, boiling over. Yeah, absolutely it would be an issue. They do.
Right,
I'm just saying.
right. You speaking the truth. You definitely speaking the truth. So, what's the difference between being loyal and being emotionally selfish, though?
And it's delusion because in your mind you will make up I'm being loyal because I'm still here doing and fulfilling everything I need to fulfill. Being emotional selfish is having both of them, and you in the Lulu land saying you got your loyalty going on, but you still, what I'm saying, securing yourself somewhere else. It's all a mind game.
Right, right. Well, I kind of agree with it. How you put that, because
hmm
in retrospect,
Yeah.
I say the loyalty part of it means cutting off all your options, completely cutting them off. Okay, and
Right.
then the emotional selfishness come in is when you leaving those options open. That's what I think.
Right. But see, for a man that don't know she got another option and she's not missing a beat on nothing, to him she's loyal because she's doing there everything, she's being there, she's not missing a beat with him. You see what I'm saying? So
Right, right,
he wouldn't have no reason to think she's disloyal unless she slip up on something or her patterns start changing or she starts saying she going out with the girls more or whatever she's doing. She start all this new perfume is popping up. Now she wearing Victoria's Secret every damn day. You know what I'm saying? Or every Thursday. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just little things that you can. I'm just saying, sir.
right. Hey, hey,
It's
I'm gonna let
it's
you
it's
cook.
always a pattern.
Right, I'm gonna let you cook.
It's always something somewhere.
Right,
It's always something somewhere. Cause I'm saying, okay, here's an example. I was with somebody and they was acting crazy, cheating, whatever, this and that, and I didn't want to cheat back. but I still want to teach them a lesson and give them the illusion. So I had parked my car at my mama's house, took a Uber back home, and then turned my phone off so they can go to voicemail all night. And they thought that I was on something, but I didn't do nothing. The thought was there. They was acting crazy, but I was at home, sleep at peace or whatever. I'm just a thinker. That's what I'm saying. So I didn't necessarily have to compromise, you know,
Right. Right.
an eye for an eye, or going out there giving my body away, or doing some revenge cheating and all that or whatever, just because they were doing it. I still got the satisfaction of making them think that something was going on and not play with me. I didn't do nothing, but you know what I'm saying? They thought I was doing something.
Right. Right. I can see how they can play with a mind, play with some man's mind.
Right.
All right. Now
Right.
don't start. Don't
So the
start
whole
us
thing
yet
is
now.
he was doing it. I'm just saying he was doing it, but I didn't actually do anything, and he was pissed about that. So what if I had actually went out and gave him away? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Like,
Right. Yeah. Hold on one second. Hold on
okay.
1 second.
Looking to boost your brand? Advertise with Situations, the podcast where real-life stories meet real-time conversations. Reach engaged listeners and grow your business today.
Okay. Now, you said that you didn't do anything. You just played a mind game on them there, right? Was it if it was
I
it
did,
a-
yeah,
so
because
was
I
it
didn't want to do
effective?
anything.
So was it effective as you wanted to be?
Absolutely.
So if that's the case,
Yeah, but see, he had the guilty conscience.
now go ahead, finish.
The relationship ended up being over because I ended up finding out he was married the whole time we was together.
Oh
So
Lord.
that was his guilty conscience eating him up all the time, where he thought I had something going. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
after that, I'm like, yeah, the whole relationship was a lie, and I left. But it was like I was constantly getting accused of stuff that I wasn't doing.
Right.
That's because he was doing he was living a double life, and it was eating him up. That's what I'm saying. It's like it don't never really work out. Some type of emotion is going to hit either side.
Right. Okay.
Because energy don't lie. When you connected to a person, you gonna tell me you can't feel when something is off, or feel when something is different, or feel when something going on with your partner. Ain't no way.
Right.
Maybe in the beginning, but if you done been with somebody 2, 3, 4 years on up, ain't no way in hell you not finna feel nothing. Your intuition is gonna kick in. You gonna get that gut feeling. You might not know, but it's gonna hit you. And I tell people, you can overthink a million things. You can't make a feeling up. You can't
Right.
make that feeling up. When it hits you, you know what the hell it is because it hit you right in the gut.
So do you think that intuition is always accurate? Or are you
I
or
do. I
when
don't
it
think
gets
your
to that
thoughts.
point, are you just over analyzing everything?
No, that's why I say it's a difference in feeling something and thinking something. You can overthink a whole bunch of stuff. You can
Okay.
make up 50 scenarios right or wrong in your head. You can't make up a feeling. You
Okay.
can say, um, you could say if we go in this alley, somebody might pop out. We might see a black cat. You know, a car might come and try to hit one of us. But then if you walk through the alley, you start getting an eerie feeling in your stomach. It's like, no, this don't feel right. You see what I'm saying? It's a difference in making something up in your head versus not versus feeling something in your heart or your gut. It's two different feelings.
Right. Okay. Well, we got somebody in the
That's what
chat.
they say. Don't assume. When you assume, you make an ass out of you.
Yeah, you and
Okay.
me, right? Well, we got somebody in the chat. We got none. I hope I'm
Right.
pronouncing this right. None of your beers. None of your beers say they 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 speaking on your behalf. They saying you absolutely right. None of your
Uh-huh.
beers. I appreciate you tuning in.
Okay.
We appreciate you rocking with us today. Um, None of your beers.
Absolutely.
Give us your thought process. Tell us what you feel about what you're hearing today. Chime in. Come on, be a part of the show today, and let
Right.
us know what your thought process is in regards to this. Now, I know earlier that I said that the numbers will be higher today because of the generation that we're living in, right? But
Right.
how common is it that let me see, how do I want to word this? How common is it amongst our younger generation today? Everybody talking, since social media the way it is, social media is like an easy access to everybody. You
Mm-hmm.
can get in contact with
Right.
everybody via social media. And then they got,
You
everybody
can.
talking about the millennials, the
Right.
Gen Zs and all that. How do you feel
Yeah.
about the younger generation?
I'm not even gonna limit it to just them. No, it's not just them.
Okay.
Our generation, it's everybody lumped in together. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even finna just put it off on them. Because if it was that, then the success rate still would be higher, and it's not.
Okay. So where's
It's not
the
everybody
loyalty
out
then?
here doing everything and everybody.
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
That's
So
the thing.
where's the
Ain't no
loyalty?
loyalty no more. Ain't no loyalty. You got 50-year relationships ending every other day. Ain't no more loyalty. Everybody outside. What you talking about? There is.
Right.
Am I lying?
You're absolutely
Ain't
right.
everybody outside.
You're absolutely right. I agree with that
Okay.
100%. So what kind of impact this have on long-term trust in relationships?
It's looking gloomy. Like today outside, it's looking gloomy because it's nobody. No,
Wow.
it's not funny, but it's sad. Because no, nobody wants to risk getting hurt anymore. Nobody wants to invest because they like we already know how this shit finna end. So I'm just gonna have my personal self. What they tell me. I'm just gonna do me. Everybody doing them and everybody else.
Right.
And then because everybody got open situations and everybody doing them and everybody else, when you do get somebody you like, the sparks be there. It's like the butterflies be there. That's the stuff that they mess up and they run from. They run from the real feelings and they be out there. They content with the fake because they know what they expect with that.
Right. Right. But do you think open communications about these type of feelings prevent the need for a backup?
Yes, but the whole thing is people gonna tell the truth and not be a damn liar. You know what I'm saying? Like we can have a conversation all day and a person will look you dead smack in your ass and still lie.
Right. Um.
That's why I tell people, give me the truth.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you cook because you cooking right
No,
now. I ain't gonna get
I
in your
tell
way.
anybody, just give me the truth. I just tell people, give me the truth. Give me the option to say what I want to deal with, or maybe we can have a conversation, and maybe I can give you a different perspective that may want to sway the way you moving, or your thought process about something, or you may be like, you know what, this something totally different. You know what I'm saying? Or this person is totally different from what I've ever dealt with. I like the way they moving. I like the way they talking, or whatever. Let me see what this about. Let me invest a little time in this and see, what I'm saying, what this probably could be
Right.
versus what you used to. Because
Right.
that's what's wrong with it. Everybody just lacking love. They lacking the loyalty, you know what I'm saying, and the honesty being there. But if
Okay.
you grown, what's the lie for? If you just want to do what you want to do, that's fine. Just say that. But I guess they get a thrill out of having some type of backup plan or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, do you think it's healthy to have a what if person in your mind?
I don't.
Okay.
Because that means you're not investing your all in what you have right now. If it don't work out, then guess what? Then say, okay, now I'm finna entertain whatever this and that. Because if them people like you, guess what? They ain't finna stop liking your ass.
Right.
They not.
But I think it's just for some. I think it's just motivational.
And that should give you.
Go ahead, Thiana. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that just if you look at, so my whole thing is, even if you got a backup plan, how much loyalty is there if they willing to deal with you while you got somebody else?
Right.
How can you trust that when you get with them, if that don't work out, that they ain't gonna be with nobody else? You see what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
that don't. To me, if that's what I'm saying, if I'm with a man and another man trying to talk to me, and I'm like, no, I'm with somebody, you know, but can we? No, I can't give you my number. Like I'm into my relationship, and that's just what it is. Now, if I become single or something, you know, we having to cross paths again, he should look at me and be like, you know what, she all right with me. You know what I'm saying? Like because I didn't bite the bait. You know what I'm saying? And if I get with you, I'm gonna give you the same respect, courtesy, and loyalty.
Right. Right. I agree. I totally agree with that analysis. But what? Let me ask you this.
But they don't. They try to talk you out of it. Mm-hmm.
So as a people, should we just normalize or challenge the idea of keeping a backup
Okay.
partner?
It's already normalized. That's the thing. For the person that has a traditional or loyalty mindset, you have to decide if you're not coming across somebody that's loyalty as well, you have to decide what are gonna be your risk factors. What are you know what I'm saying? Like, are you gonna entertain these other situations knowing you was used to loyalty? You know what I'm saying? To I guess if you want to have somebody or that's the norm right now,
Right.
if that's something you want to like, what are your deal breakers or what are you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm gonna deal with this, but these are my terms. But it's like, if it's always something that's open, it's like, really, what can you trust?
Right.
That's
But
what it's all boiling down to. And that's why I
go
think a
ahead.
lot of people out here not happy.
Right. But don't you think these poly relationships fall into this factor? Because
Absolutely. That's why I
because
said it's already normal.
because you starting to see a lot of that now. So I guess that's excuse me.
Right.
I
They
think that's
saying
gonna
fuck
be
it.
the new
We
thing then now,
we
huh?
this ain't no backup no more. We all on our backs. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying. They
Right.
not even that's what I'm saying. It's not being hit no more. You just people are coming to terms and groups. It's like, well, I want you too. Well, we just all gonna be together. But we've been hearing this term for years, sister wives, all that. You know what I'm saying? Where they all just it ain't nothing new.
Right.
It's not nothing new.
Well, I
Some
totally
people
agree
just
with that.
saying F it. I don't want to be alone. So I mean, even the girl that made the song, he yours on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and he man on the weekend.
Right. Right.
I mean, it's a song, and everybody was singing it. So I think it's already been normalized. I think more
Right.
people are just in agreement and coming to the terms and grips of it to saying, okay, I'm gonna be okay with it too, because I don't want to be alone.
That was and when that song was out too, that was like their anthem. That was
This
like
is
the
what I'm
anthem
telling
for
you.
'em.
So how is it not already normalized?
Right.
Right, it's normalized already.
Yeah. A lot of people. Well, I guess you're right. I guess you don't. I think you're right about that. Well,
It's been sad chicks and sad dudes forever. You go back to the 60s, 70s. I mean, Papa wasn't Rolling Stone. Whatever time you want to use, you know what I'm saying? It's been
right.
going on.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Then went from Papa wasn't Rolling Stone to Sneaky Link. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's just the terminology didn't change. It ain't nothing new.
Same thing, just different terminology. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Well, um, so what do you think? What do you think actually need to happen in situations like this from the woman's perspective?
I think a lot of women put more emphasis on being a cookie cutter, Miss Goody Two Shoes, and always being right versus being real.
Okay.
And that's just my take on that.
Okay.
If you like certain things, say that. Stop leaving shit out. Put all your demands on the table, what you like, this and that, whatever, because some of them may be ashamed to say they like XYZ, or they may want something open or this and that, but just scared to say it because of how they might look to somebody else. And now they unhappy, and you know what I'm saying, because they not living in their complete truth.
Right.
No, everybody's grown. State your claim, say what you want. If the person with it, they with it. If they not, and vice versa.
Okay.
That's just like for a man. He don't even got to cheat. If you catch a woman on the right day, she might say, fuck it, I'm with it. I'm with the shits today. You know what I'm saying? So I'm being honest.
Right. Right.
But she respected him for being 100 with her, and she was able to decide on her own if it was something she wanted to entertain or not.
Wow. So, do you think the backup plan ever becomes the real relationship?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't, because by the time they do become the real relationship, guess what? They insecure about if she got somebody else. And that's just what the hell it is.
Right.
I don't think they ever be able to stand in that spot saying, yeah, I'm the number one, I won and all that or whatever. I think in the back of their mind, it's always going to be, is it somebody else too?
Okay.
Because I was once in those shoes. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So, how was it? How was it for you in that situation?
I didn't know until I found out.
Right. But I mean, what I'm saying is, after you found out, was you traumatized? How did that make you feel as a woman?
Betrayed. I felt like the whole relationship was a lie. And I
Okay.
had asked them before, was they married? Did they have somebody? This and that. Everything was said no. They even took me to the house, gave me a tour and everything. Then we leaving out. A lady comes to the window, whatever, and I'm like, who is that? They told me it was the housekeeper. Took me in the house and everything.
So the house that he took you in, that was the house that he shared it with his wife or his girlfriend or whoever it was.
Yep,
Oh wow.
the wife. And I didn't have no clue. But I couldn't say that he was with somebody because he had kids, because I had a daughter. You see what I'm saying? And I wasn't with the person that I was with. So I couldn't use that. He said it was a babysitter.
Right.
And the wife never came out and said nothing. So what other proof did I have to go off of? When I went to meet the person's parents in another state that he took me to, that's how I found out, because they was looking at me all crazy and stuff like that, and I had never met them before. That's
Right.
how it came out. And I said,
Wow.
when we get back to Chicago, it's over. And after that, I got harassed and everything like that, like I had did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, no, this whole thing was a lie.
Wow. That's tough. And that takes
Yeah.
a lot of guts to pull that off.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he had the wife in the shell. Maybe she was spooked. Maybe that's how he was able
Yeah.
to bring you into the house, because he probably had her put away, tucked away, and she was probably scared to even say or do anything about it.
Right.
Uh,
But whatever the reason is, it was wrong. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Because I asked. But then now my life is flipped upside down, because I'm saying I don't want this because it was a lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't keep it honest.
Right.
And then when I asked him, well, why did you lie? Well, I know if I had told the truth, you would have never been with me. You lost me anyway.
Right. Okay. Well, hey, I think that's the way. That's the world that we living in today, though. Especially that
Absolutely.
with the poly thing that's going on. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it like you said, it's making it, and they normalizing it, and that's what makes it feel like it's so easy to do.
Absolutely.
So hey, it
Yeah.
is what it is. But what could
I
one
get
say?
men that be talking about threesomes and everything else.
Right.
Yeah.
You are now watching Situations, the
tuned
podcast,
in
where nothing
your
is
number
off
one.
limits.
Okay. For those of you that are tuned in, if there's anything that you heard today you want to chime in, please do so at this time. You know, let us engage and tell us how you feel about what you heard, or if you've been in situations like this,
Right.
you know, let us know. Let me see. We got somebody here. We got None of Your Biz.
Okay.
I'm not certain if None of Your Biz is a male or a female, but she stated, or he stated, maybe she wanted to be a sister wife. None of Your Biz. What do you mean?
And that's what I'm saying. If
Go ahead, Thiana.
not what a person that I'm talking about, nah, they didn't want to be no sister wife. It was just, I guess he maybe had some fear in her, or there was control there.
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
Because we end up sitting down having a conversation. We end up having a conversation afterwards. And I'm not trying to per se speak on, everything that was discussed or whatever, but it wasn't nothing that was really like, smiled upon or whatever, or she wasn't in agreement with it. It
Right.
it was what it was.
Right.
And I got lied to, so that's how I even came into the picture.
Yeah. But like I say, you walked away unscathed, though, correct?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay. Oh man. Okay. Wow. I think we touched on some valid points. And
Yeah, me too.
And like I say, for those of you that may be going through situations like this, I hope some of the things that we said today, will kind of help with your situations. I'm sorry. Okay. None of Your Biz. Okay. She says she's a female. I'm sorry, None of Your Biz. She said, I'm a female, Kelvin. I'm sorry. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke. I'm sorry. I was just asking, that way I know how to address you. That's all. Okay.
Right.
She said that it's easy for Thiana to trust men now. Is it easy for Thiana to trust men now? Okay, Thiana, None of Your Biz wants to know. She wants to know, is it easy for you to trust men now?
I would say I've always given each person that come into my life a fair shot. And that's why I always take time to heal and talk to somebody, or journal, or get it out, spend time alone and stuff like that, so I can heal, so I won't, be walking into a new situation, just on guard, not even giving the man a fair chance. No. But when you go through things, you definitely learn about patterns with people, and you know what I'm saying, some things are more prominent when you see them and you already know what they are. So I just pay attention. And if it don't feel right, or I don't feel like they're investing enough time or this and that, I just leave it where it's at.
Okay.
But I sit down, I tell them to be honest, and stuff like that, and we just see how it go. Anybody you with, it's gonna be a risk, at the end of the day.
All right. Okay. Let me ask you, None of Your Biz, let me ask you this. Have you experienced something to this effect? And if so, please chime in and tell us. You don't have to go into too much detail, but just tell us, what you've experienced and how does it tie in with what you heard today. Okay. I hope Thiana answers your question the way you was looking for it. So Thiana, we're just gonna get them a little time today. We're gonna get a chat a little time today to drop some comments and
Okay.
some questions. And if you guys are
Okay.
still tuned in, for those of you
Yeah.
that are still tuned in with us, you know, uh, let's have an open dialogue. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Like I said, I just give a person a fair chance, So
Right,
you get to prove to me, like nobody else can come to me and tell me nothing about you, because guess what? Your experience with them is not your experience with me. So I can't even necessarily go off of that. Because what if you did change? You know what I'm saying?
right,
So another woman can't come tell me XYZ. But if it becomes an issue and now this woman keep popping up, or if different stuff present itself, then yeah, now some red flags is starting to get raised. But I just give a person a fair chance to show me who they is and for them to be honest.
right. And ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with putting the cards on the table. When you put the cards on the table up
Yeah.
front, like you said, it's up to that individual whether they want to play their hand or not.
Right.
If they want to play the hand, fine. If they don't want to play the hand, then okay, that's fine too. But at least you was
Right.
upfront about it.
Yeah. And if I'm trying to date somebody, I'm not saying they have to be committed to me. I just live in a real world. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But if you're saying you want me to be your woman, now we need to sit down and have a conversation. And now some different things have to be put on the table.
right. Okay, none of your bed stated. She made a comment. She said that I don't have a backup plan. My current situation, if it doesn't work, I don't think I want to be in another relationship. Well, let me say this then. I'm not certain how old you are, but if your current situation doesn't work, don't give up on love. Don't give up on finding love because,
Right. Right.
right, don't give up on finding love because it's out there. It's out there. It's just, it might
It
take
is.
2 or 3 relationships for you to get it right. Not saying it's you per se that's doing
Right.
something wrong, but for you to make a statement like you don't want to be in another relationship, then I think you throwing in the towel. You may be throwing in the towel a little too early. Like I said, I'm not certain of your age,
Yeah.
but I would never give up on finding love. That's just that's
Right.
just my personal opinion. Thiana, how you feel about that?
I often say I got something to add too, because sometimes men and women, when they say you got a type or you keep dating, sometimes you have to look at yourself too, because sometimes it can be you. You get comfortable in the familiar, what is it, familiarity of same characteristics from different people,
Right,
and you find yourself dating, you know what I'm saying, the same person all over again, even though it's a different person. So sometimes you got to try something a little different too.
right,
You gotta try to go to some different places. If you was going to the club, don't go to the club no more. Go to an after work set. Go to an art gallery. You know what I'm saying? If you want something different, sometimes you got to do some different things to get something different. You can't
absolutely.
keep rotating in the same circles and doing the same things and expecting a different outcome or a different person.
And I say that all the time about those celebrity relationships. I think that's why a lot of celebrity
Yeah.
relationships don't work or end up in a
Hmm.
divorce because they only date in that celebrity circle. Okay. And
Right.
when you're dating in that celebrity circle, whomever you're dating, they're celebrity too. So they're gonna have women throwing themselves at
Right.
them all the time. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
For you to, I think, me personally, when you're a
Right.
celebrity or when you're at that status, I don't see nothing wrong with dating in that circle. But I think
Yeah.
you'll find a better shot at being with somebody outside of that
Hmm.
celebrity circle because they'll
Yep.
value you more. I think that's
Right.
my personal opinion. I think you'll get a lot more value from an individual that doesn't have that celebrity status versus someone who does. What you think, Thiana?
I believe it too, but I believe it too, but that person has to be secure. And you have to assure them, that, you know what I'm saying, you got to do things to make them feel secure as well with how
Right.
you moving and, you know, how you doing things. Because it can be a lot to deal with, you know what I'm saying? So, and you
That's
can't
true.
blame everything on a celebrity if you ain't moving right, you know?
Right. Right.
So,
That's true too. Well, like I said, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I often think about that when I hear situations where um celebrities and they celebrity boyfriend and they celebrity husband are going through a divorce.
yeah.
The
Hmm.
husband doing all the cheating with other different women, and it's easy access for
Right.
them. But when you get out of that
Right.
dating circle, get out of that celebrity circle, I just think that someone
Right.
outside of that celebrity circle will definitely value you more than someone that's in that celebrity circle. I mean, I don't know why I think that, but I
And it may
just
be
I
a
just
little
feel
more
it may work.
stability.
Say it again.
No, because guess what? You don't have two superstars, and it may be a little more stability from the person that's a non-celebrity.
Right. Because if you think about it, look at all the celebrities that's that's going through what they going through today. With the Offset and Cardi B and all that. And the guy she dating now is also a
Right.
celebrity. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
when you
Right.
when you stand that when you
Right.
stand like you say, you got to do something different. You have to try something different, right? Okay, so let's try something
Right.
different. Let's get out of that circle
Right.
and let's take a step back. That's not
Right.
going to devalue who you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But let's take a step back.
It's not.
Let's step outside of that circle for a minute and let's see how that works. You never know. That might be what you needed. Who knows? But like you said, if you don't try, then how you gonna ever find out?
Yeah, but sometimes. Right. Right. But like, we can't say with this new generation everything, like, if you not this and you not that, you consider basic, and they don't want that.
Right. But see, that's the problem today. You
Everybody
know,
got to be a baddie.
right? But yeah, that's another
Exactly.
terminology. A basic, baddie, and all. We need to stop that bullshit.
Right.
We need to stop living by these
Right.
terminologies because I think that's really corrupting the younger women. The women that's looking up, the younger
But
girls
that's so
that's
right. They're not so right.
right. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So they're not looking for love. They're not looking for love then. They looking for image.
Right.
It's like a clout chasing field relationship. It's not, there's no love base there, and there's no loyalty. Cause soon as somebody even better come along, now he or she with him or her.
Right.
That's the whole thing of it. The morals, it's like people are worshiping, and they are putting more importance on things versus the value of a person.
Okay. I can see that. I can see that. Well, you know, um, like I said, I think in certain situations, I think people just need to try different things. If you like you said, if you continue into
Absolutely.
uh like for an example, some women might have an image for the bad guy look. The bad guy. He gotta be a thuggish. She
Right.
want her guy to have a little thug in him.
Right.
You know, when you
Right.
consistently deal with these type of individuals, you're not looking for change because I can assure you,
That's
everyone you meet that fit that thuggish gangster image, they're gonna be the same.
right.
They all gonna be the same.
But that's what I said. It's like same characteristics, different person, but you basically dating the same person all over again,
All over
and
again,
you
absolutely.
got the same complaint
Right.
because you didn't try nothing different. Right.
Yep. You're definitely right. But like I say, I hope.
Everybody talking about they want Sierra and Russell.
Go ahead, finish.
You hear you hear how they were saying they want a Sierra prayer with her,
Uh-uh.
with her and Russell Wilson,
Uh-uh. What happened?
because at first she was with rappers and stuff like that,
Right.
and then they was looking at Russell like he was the corny guy
Right.
because he was the safe guy. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But now she's happy, she's blissful, their family is growing, they flourishing, and it's great. You see what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. The women don't be going for them. Like you said, they want the bad guy.
Right.
And that's when you get knocked over the damn head.
Yeah. Even though
For real.
even though she stayed in that celebrity circle,
Right.
but he was more of a God-fearing man. So
Characteristics different.
right. So in a way, it changed because she left the rappers alone and got with somebody that's also
Right.
a celebrity, but also is a God-fearing man. So that's probably why
Right.
she's blissful right now.
And Russell wasn't out in no clubs. Russell wasn't drinking every day. Russell wasn't out in no clubs. Russell wasn't, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Like, you gotta try something different to get something different. That's the moral of the story today, y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, y'all. Well, none of your biz. I appreciate you tuning in. You never did jump back in the comments. So, but like I said, for those of you that's tuned in and stayed with us throughout the entire show, we really appreciate you guys. We ask that you get over to our YouTube channel at Situations the Podcast and make sure you turn on that notification bell. But most importantly, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And once you subscribe, you become part of the Situations the Podcast family. I hope you
Right.
guys took something from the conversations that we spoke about today. And I hope this may help some of you guys in some form or fashion.
Right.
Hold on. She back in. She jumped in the chat. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
She said some men tell you and show you what you want to see and hear at first. Then lately they turn into Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Narcissistic men. Those are the men that you speak
Absolutely.
of. Those are the men that you speak of.
Right. And I experienced that. And guess what? So for that, I can say you just have to focus on knowing when to leave. Don't stay too long. Don't start second guessing yourself, and don't let your loyalty keep you in something that your logic should be telling you to get the hell up out of. That's it right there.
Right. Yeah, because like you
Because you
say,
have to be loyal to yourself first.
right. If that man, if he not doing the same things he did to get you, to keep you, then that should be your first telltale sign right there.
Right. What do you continue to be loyal to?
Right. Absolutely. But
Run, girl, man. For
oh
real,
shit.
run. If you have to go.
Right.
Because once that representative fall off, baby, that ain't the person that you said that you thought you was getting. It's time to go.
Right.
You've been scammed. You've been frauded. It's time to go. So you don't have to be loyal to a fraud. Get on
That's
up
true.
out of there.
That's true. Like I said, that's a sign. That's a sign of the narcissistic kicking in.
Absolutely.
She said, "I know that's right." Yeah, you got to get out of there. You got to get out of there.
Yes.
None of your biz. We asked that none of your biz. I would like for you to actually subscribe to our podcast if you haven't already, because I definitely would like for you to become part of the Situation the Podcast family. Just by you tuning
Yes.
in with us throughout the whole show. I love your energy. I love everything about your questioning. I appreciate you even engaging with us today and being a part of the show.
Yes.
So if you haven't not subscribed to the podcast, please do so. And once you do, you become part of the Situation the Podcast family. Okay. So that's going to conclude our show for today, everybody. If you have other comments that you want to drop, you can drop them in the comments, and we do reply to all comments. Excuse me. We do reply to all comments. So, excuse me. I'm getting choked up over here. None of your business about to make me cry. Like I said, we do reply to all comments. So your comments won't go unseen or unheard. Okay. Thiana, you got something you wanna close out with?
No, it's just basically just if you stay checked into the relationship and checked into your partner, things should be okay. Like I say, ain't nobody perfect or nothing like that. But don't be disloyal to yourself for the sake of being loyal to somebody else that ain't loyal to you. If stuff starts switching up and you didn't address how you feel, it may be time to go.
Okay. Right. She said, none of your business said you're welcome. I commented, but it doesn't show right away. Well, we see them. Is probably once the broadcast end, they'll probably go live. The comments will probably show up, but we definitely see them on our end. But once again, we truly appreciate you tuning in and staying committed throughout today's show.
Yes.
So, what I want to do at this time, I want to just give a round of applause to the chat for today and for everybody that's tuned in. Okay, that's going to conclude our show for today. And once again, I'm Kelvin, your host of Situations the Podcast.
And I'm your co-host, Miss Thiana.
Okay, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed what you heard today. I hope you guys took something from it. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week for another amazing episode of Situations the Podcast. See you next week. Peace.